this December, Monday, December 9th, from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Yoga Element Studio. This is an in-person event, and you do have the option to join virtually if you are interested in joining us and you're not in Chicago. And we're just going to bring Lisa on, learn a little bit more about her, what it is she's going to offer with the circle this month. And if you haven't had a chance to pre-register, please pre-register. It does help us. We do serve ceremonial cacao as a part of the circle, and it just helps us know how much cacao to prepare. And I also want to let you know, January, we are doing our second annual Women's Circle Summit, which is a whole day from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So check out the details for that. That'll be our next event after December. So I'm going to just bring Lisa on and just her focus is going to be self-care for this circle, which is great for our winter months.
Yay, we did it.
Hello, we made it.
We did. Thank you so much, Cindy.
My pleasure, Lisa. Thanks for being here, and thanks for saying yes to guest leading this month for the Women's Circle Chicago.
Absolutely. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. Really.
Thank you. So, Lisa, you want to start? I know this is a big question. Who are you?
I answer that question differently every time I'm asked, and I think just for the purpose of this video, just to give people a little snippet about me, is I would say that I'm a lifelong seeker of self-realization. I am a serial entrepreneur. I'm an author with over 30 years of experience as a business executive, as well as an internationally recognized educator in this field between human potential and leadership. And I think, as I'm actually in the process of writing my second and third book, and I've been contemplating about what experiences do I talk about. And I have had some profound experiences, including a near-death experience in 1991, as well as really was a very transformative 2 different times of an artistic awakening, and then massive transmissions that came through in the 2017, and it really shaped who I've become. It's really shaped the purpose of my life, and I constantly am delving into this labyrinth of consciousness that I find to be so fascinating. So over the last 20 years or so, I have coached individuals and global leaders, helping them break free from old patterns and limitation, and really cultivating more of a mindfulness mindset that is sustainable and balanced. And I've architected about 35 different courses and programs. And the latest has been this translating of ancient wisdom into, I think, more modern ways of application. And I'm a big believer of science and neuroscience. I kind of geek out in quantum physics and neuroscience. And I do believe that there's a way in which to have measurable results when it comes to consciousness. And then I think the last part about me is that I have a nonprofit endeavor in a belief that I think that we get to a point in life where we can be really of service. And part of the nonprofit is transforming the education system by mentoring young people, as well as bringing teachers or helping teachers become conscious educators. And so there's work that I do around that. And, I think that when we make a shift within ourselves, and we do what I've heard recently called micro-pivoting, but it really is a way in which to pivot who we are to who we can become. And that is what I think can empower the next generation and foster really a mindfulness culture globally. So And I'm a mother of an amazing 18-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
Have to put that one in. So thank you for asking.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing, and not only your contribution so far, but also what you're up to and where you're wanting to contribute more. I heard you say combining self-realization, and I'm trying to remember the language, self-empowerment or self-development, self-growth, and just combining the two.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that this is where, you inviting me to speak at the next event, and we can kind of just go right in there, because I've been on a deep dive this year in self-love. And I think there is a misunderstanding of what self-love really is. And through the exploration of my own, I guess, passion to become the best version of myself, self-love was one of those, yeah, I kind of feel like I love myself, but then I really didn't understand what it really meant. So in the talk on Monday, it will really be, how do we cultivate a self-love practice and understand who we maybe have thought we were outside of love of thyself. And I think that's really the exploration, is how do we love thyself truly, truly? Because we can't love others until we love ourselves. And I know that that may sound very cliche, but the practices and the unfoldment of who we are through intentional self-loving is it's a transformative process. And I get to be the person who I want to teach or to be in a partnership with. I get to be the person I want to care for or nurture. And instead of being, I think that especially and I'm going to jump here for a second, especially being in the healing world, and I think there's a lot of people who are opening up their own creative genius, and knowing that they have gifts to bring. And there's a lot of healers, a lot of coaches out there that really want to do amazing work. But when we don't start with thyself, I think that we are still tethered to the ground, right? There's only so much ascension that we can do, or we can elevate to. So kind of answering your question, I think, but self-realization, self-awareness is really, really important.
You just definitely expanded on it a little bit more. Thank you. You have to, what I'm hearing, you have to realize who you are, not only to develop, but also to develop what it is that you're wanting, what you're truly wanting to really access. And that comes from different forms of self-love. And what does that look like?
So I think that the workshop is really going to be the practices and the tools, and very experiential conversations, in an intimate, comfortable, and confident setting, to really explore self. Where have we overcompensated? Where have we undercompensated? Who have we given our power away? What do we do on a daily basis or a regular basis that really is the opposite of self-love? Where are healthy boundaries? What are they within each one of us? And it really is very profound and insightful to be able to, and very courageous, really, I think, to say, I'm going to put me first. Because when we do put ourselves first, we then have the ability to expand exponentially to everything and everyone, and the endeavors that we would like to fulfill, and who we want to become. just gets expanded when loving thyself becomes the foundation of our life. And it's not out of selfishness. It's quite frankly, in my opinion, a very selfless act. But we're not taught that. There's nowhere we're taught that that's, we shouldn't say the word I, we should always say the word you or we. But it does start from within. And I always say this to clients is when you change, everyone else around you changes. You don't have to take my word for it. Do the transformational work, do the inner work. And when you do, I guarantee, and I don't guarantee anything, but I guarantee this, when you do the work within, you will see a different world on the outside.
Yeah, and you went right there for it. Self-care is not selfish. And I think, and there's a fine line, and you even spoke a little bit about boundaries too, and what that even can go into, right, healthy boundaries versus not so healthy boundaries. And
and we have to know what those boundaries are. And boundaries look really different when we stop to think about those who maybe are used to our overcompensating in relationship. Maybe we don't know how to, maybe from a business perspective, I work with a lot of female CEOs as an example. And one of the things that I always ask them is, when do you take your breaks? And, there's back to back meetings. And just as a woman, it's like, well, when do you have to use the washroom? When do you need to drink water? Where are those? When do you start to put yourself and your well-being first? And then, and only then, can you be a phenomenal leader, because you're not only doing it for yourself, you're teaching your, the community, the culture, that practicing balance is the key to greater success. And I know that personally.
So what can people expect when they're coming to this women's circle? I know it's self-care, and we've touched on self-care and what it can be, and things to look at. For those who are interested in attending this month's women's circle, is there anything that they need to bring? Is there anything that they to prepare for your share?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think definitely if you have a journal, bring a journal. And I think bringing intention is so important. What is the intention that you want to get out of the journey to start in self-love? And maybe write that down, because the intention that we have actually holds a huge vibrational trajectory to what we want to create in the future, or to be in the present, really more like that will trajectory out into the future. And so to ask the questions of maybe, what does self-love look like to me? And to answer that question, because then we're going to do a self-assessment afterward. And so that, I think, could be some really good preparation. I'm a big believer of drinking plenty of water, because it will be transformative. And people can decide what they want to pick up and walk away with from the information that's being provided. But any kind of change or insight actually changes at a cellular level. So drinking plenty of water is very, very helpful. And I think just bringing your authentic self, like the real authentic self, it's going to be a safe space. And so bringing your authentic self is the name of the game to transformation. And I look forward to
Mhm. Go ahead.
I said I look forward to it. I look forward to meeting everyone, to having a conversation, and to diving into what we can cultivate together. It'll be a beautiful time.
Yes. Yes. The women's circles are always powerful. And so it's very exciting to have you with us and sharing. And so I'm hearing assignment is write down your description of self-love and bring it with you and just come as you are. Lisa, thank you so much for taking time to just share a little bit more about yourself. And if people, if for any reason someone can't attend on Monday, how can people find you? We'll tag your handle here as well.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. People can reach me at wisdom. Well, actually, there's a couple of places. SageProsperityPartners.com is the website. Somebody can go there and check it out. I've got some things there. Info@SageProsperityPartners.com is an email. Anybody can send that, and I will for sure get that. I also have a YouTube channel that is getting revamped this year, so I'm super excited. And people can find some information and some nuggets of things that I've done in the past year at Wisdom from the Edge. That's on YouTube, Wisdom from the Edge. So, yeah, thank you.
Excellent. Yes, and we will tag Wisdom from the Edge on this video. And anything else that you want to share?
No, just so thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this great opportunity. I look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah.
I look forward to meeting some new faces and getting connected right before the holidays. I mean, we're in this holiday season. It's no better time than to have a new resolution of what self-love can actually be for everyone. So I'm excited to have the conversation. Yeah.
Same. So
Thank you.
Pre-register. We'll see you all on Monday, December 9th, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Yoga Body Elements Studio. Again, thank you. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all soon.
Bye. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Bye. Pleasure.